Have you ever been in a situation where it felt like the rug was pulled out from underneath you and the place where you'd belong, the place you considered home, was no longer right anymore, no longer home? And maybe you weren't being just victimized. Maybe you were being called to a bigger story. You were being initiated, called to find wholeness and a whole nother level of expression and empowerment. Let me explain. I'm Karina Howell, I'm a narrative guide, and I'm going to talk to you today about a particular model of the heroine's journey, a little distinct from the hero's journey, that's an inner and outer journey that's being expressed in our popular culture in our most beloved movies. This model was developed by Gail Kerrigan, and it's expressed in the Barbie movie. And I'm going to go through the stages and how they're exemplified in that particular movie so that you can go out and live an adventure of your own. So our story starts, Barbie is in home and belonging. The initial stage of the story always starts from home and belonging. As a woman who's connected to her community, she's connected to her gal pals, she's got everything she needs, she's got food, she's got clothes, she's got this little pseudo beach, and she doesn't want things to change. And then, well, something does change because she starts to get thoughts of death. And when she expresses them, everyone looks at her like, something's really wrong. Something's wrong with you. Then her feet fall flat and she gets cellulite. This is a threat to the community. What's going on with Barbie, it represents that something's really off. Something bad's going to happen to her, but she, as an integral part of the community, it's a threat. So they advise her, her friends advise her to go seek out the counsel of Weird Barbie, who's been played with so hard that she looks weird, but she is wise. Okay, so Weird Barbie hears this and she tells Barbie there's been a rip in the portal between the default world, the real world, and us, and you have to go out and fix it. And she gives Barbie a choice, but she doesn't really have a choice. Like, you can have your high heels, you can have Birkenstocks. She's like, I want to keep my high heels. No, you don't have a choice. This is separation from home. Similar to in the fairy tales where the woman goes out into the forest. She needs to separate. So she gets in her pink car, drives across the desert. She makes it to where she was supposed to go in the real world, which is LA. Oh, and Ken jumps in the car too, just because he wants to. And in the real world, Barbie needs to adapt to the masculine ways because this world is now ruled by the masculine, and as an expression of the feminine, she's going to be too vulnerable. And so there's this element where she has to repress some of her sexuality, put on some clothes, get savvy, find the Mattel headquarters, go find people, just deal in this masculine way. And she does gain skills there. She gains savvy, okay, as she goes through this. And she finds allies. Classic, right? You do not go on your journey and overcome the obstacles alone. She finds Gloria's daughter, who's more of an adversary. Gloria, who played with Barbie hard. They were the original owners of Barbie, the doll, as opposed to the life-size walking figure. And Gloria gets Barbie in her car to get her away from the Mattel execs, and she's there with their daughter, and they put two and two together and realize that she is the doll that they were playing with and projecting these depression sentiments to. And so they need to go and fix it. They need to go back to Barbie land. And Barbie says that, but my home is awesome. We're gonna go back to my home and everything's gonna be cool. So together with her allies, they make their way back to Barbie land. Ken is on his own journey. He's discovered that it's cool, patriarchy's cool, horses are cool, and he gets back there to Barbie land, right? So he's become an adversary in the process, because when Gloria and her child and Barbie get to former Barbie land, it's now Ken land, and they've got this perverted idea of patriarchy and things are really messed up. And Barbie gets really dissed by Ken, and She at a certain point, she just gets really depressed and she falls over. This is her facing the shadow, okay? She's facing her shadow of depression, debilitation, and Gloria and her daughter leave, but then they come back. They come back as true allies, and Gloria tells her that inspiring speech, how it is impossible to be a woman. Barbie, stereotypical Barbie, and the other Barbies are now suffering from low self-esteem. If they're not pretty enough, they're not smart enough, they can never be enough, they can't be this, they can't be that. And Gloria gives this absolutely just stirring speech that wakes her up. And then they devise a plan to save the community, and they bring in the other Barbies and tell them that same speech about how it's impossible to ever be enough as a woman. And boom, all these Barbies that were stereotypical 1950s subservient are now back in their fullness. They're fully smart, they're fully expressed and empowered, and they devise a plan to save Barbie land and get the Kens to pit against each other. But something else happens. Barbie has now saved the community, and yet she's now grown beyond it. She wants to go back to the real world with Gloria and her daughter, and that's what she does. She reclaims her fullness as a woman by going to the gynecologist. She finds a new family that loves her. She's walking into the gynecologist. Gloria and her biological family are saying, "We love you." And Barbie is now going to get those little full parts that we always knew that little plastic doll didn't have. And it's just such a beautiful reflection on how the things that we didn't even know we missed. When we go on a journey, we expand, we recover even more, as long as you take that journey, whether you choose it and go, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, or you're kind of pushed. It's okay if you're pushed, as long as you take it, all right? And there's an inner, there's an outer, because she's going through a lot of emotions. She's not just like out, they're not physically fighting the Kens or the Mattel dudes. She's got to go through her emotions when she falls into that depression, and it's something that I think so many of us can relate to, and we were all cheering, right? Because it's incredibly inspiring. But it's also an anciently rooted story of women's descent and rise, descent into the underworld, but with this modern and empowering twist that Gail Kerrigan has recognized that we are seeing in some of our most beloved movies and books as well. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you been on a similar heroine's journey? Did you love this movie as much as I did? If you're on the heroine's journey, what stage are you at? Did you find this as a young woman in midlife? Did you have to leave your home? Did you find allies? So the journey continue, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Have a blessed day.